We have Hungry Boat in pole once again, who's I believe picked up 2 pole positions this season, not sure. Followed by Mompro in second and Laszlox in third, so very good qualifying for the 2 Williams. And you only have one McLaren on the grid in Hungry Boat, who's I'm not sure actually got points this season yet, but we'll see. We have Ferrari, Benry in P4 with Max in P5. We have another, I don't know, in P6 driving the Haas, who's had a little bit of a resurgence lately, but not too much. Followed by that we have NASCAR, who is driving the Audi, a new rebranded team who's now owned by Ghost after Nico left, who's used to be Racing Point I believe, but that's changed. We have Chris also in P6 after the departure of Pierce, and he will be looking to make a good start in F1 after his jump from F2. We then also have Jason behind. Why am I hearing stuff? Okay guys, that was Konzo. Yeah, we've got Jason also following in P9 I believe, and the livery is quite a good livery, especially compared to real life. I think it really suits it, the red and black, and maybe good livery will mean good results for Audi, who still haven't definitely found their feet yet, but I'm sure they'll want to today. And last but not least we have Curly, who surprised is quite far back on the grid, but after his championship contention last season with Mompro, he wants to continue that form into this season and wants to battle those Williams up front, so he'll have to get out of those low positions to rise in table and points. Starting sequence for the lights is now about to begin, as we can begin the Spa Grand Prix. So lights one by one, they go out. Hungary gets an alright start here. Mompro and Laszlox close behind him. Mompro on the inside. Lot of trouble, Anota. So a lot of cars just in one corner here. All made out alive, and Jason and Curly have actually spun into each other. Jason now at the back of the pack, Curly now following behind. This is a major setback for both of them, as everyone's up average, and Anata and Max have collided as well. Max driving along the wall. Now Benry and Chris are very close together as well. Benry on the outside. Chris keeps that inside line and he keeps the position. Very quick start to the race here, with Hungary leading the pack and Laszlox following behind, with Mompro in third now. Laszlox has gained a position. Mompro, Hungary and Laszlox still quite close to each other. Mompro actually has overtaken Laszlox now. Mompro with a slipstream on Hungary and Laszlox with the slipstream on both. Benry is in fact out of this race, as it currently seems. Laszlox and Mompro quite close now. Over Mompro with a great exit and catching Hungry Boat here. NASCAR, Max, another and Curly all close together. Curly right behind another with the slipstream. Can he make it past? Side to side, there's a safety car. Chris has lost his wheels and he's crashed right in the middle of the track. It's a DNF and he's been issued a 10-second penalty, with the leader now instructed to control the race, and he gets off immediately. He creates a bit of a gap between him and the Williams in second place. Mompro and Laszlox following behind the McLaren, with Max going wide and he makes contact with the wall. Another pounces on that, and he does in fact take 4th place. Max right behind, with the slipstream on another. He's on the inside, can he overtake? And he does as well. Curly trying to get the overtake as well, but he can't do it. Nascar has DNF'd, and there's more contact between Laszlox and Mompro. Laszlox has lost his front wing, and Nascar has in fact flipped. Curly gaining a little bit on another, but I don't know if it will be enough. Laszlox as well, impendingly close to Mompro, but I'm not sure. He'll get an overtake done here, and into the bus stop they go. Another right behind Max, and he's alongside Max right now. Mompro on Hungry Boat as well. Goes on the outside actually, and Hungry Boat stops in the middle of the track, nearly, and Mompro takes the lead. Laszlox as well gets past Hungry Boat, and he drops from P1 to P3. Faster exit, and he takes him on the inside. Laszlox ahead, takes P1. Hungry Boat as well, on the outside of Mompro. It's being blocked by Laszlox here. Into Les Coombs, I think. And Mompro goes wide, and Hungry Boat takes the position away from Mompro. Another closely behind. Hungry Boat now chasing Laszlox back for his P1, with Mompro falling 2 spots now. Close behind, Curly is trying to gain on another here. Can he do anything round this turn? Jason as well is falling far behind. Hungry Boat and Laszlox are side by side, and Hungry Boat takes his P1 back. Mompro goes wide. Another and Curly overtake Mompro, and Mompro loses out again. Another has been given a 10-second penalty here. I'm not sure what for, but we can check later. Jason has in fact crashed, and he has lost both wheels. Jason might be a DNF here, unless he can recover, but I doubt he will. Hungry, Mompro and Laszlox all within a meter of each other. There's a virtual safety car as well, right in the middle of this. The cars slow down. Hungry gives back spot to Laszlox. Mompro in P3, Curly in P4. Game's underway. Top 4, Curly, Mompro, Hungry and Laszlox. Hungry on the inside of Laszlox, and Laszlox spins out. Hungry hits Laszlox and he spins. Laszlox into P4. Hungry into P2. Another has actually hit the barrier here. Another might be out of this race. This will mean 4 cars remain, edging closer and closer to a red flag. If another can't recover, that means he will be DNF'd, unless he can respawn later on. Another is going full throttle here, but not moving. He's only missing 1 wheel, but we'll see. Laszlox on the back of Curly here. Can he make a move into El Rouge Rallye? Hungry with a great exit here on Mompro. Laszlox with a great exit on Curly too. Or, no, not a great exit, but he's catching on Curly. Hungry on the outside. Laszlox too on the outside of Curly. Curly keeps the position, so Hungry also overtakes Mompro. It's Hungry in P1 now. Another is driving. The pack may actually catch him up here, and they'll have to watch out on the back straight. Gaining a little bit on Mompro. Mompro gaining a bit on Hungry. The Haz is in the middle of the track here. He's into the wall again, and he's lost 2 wheels now, I believe. And that's a red flag. Hungary also loses a wheel, trying to go into the pits. And the lights go out, and Laszlo's with an awful start here, being overtaken by everyone. Very tight turn 1. Another spins out onto the sand, and there's a huge pile up in turn 1. Mercedes both crashing into each other. There's a huge confusion here as Mercedes have bottled the start completely. Max and Chris repeatedly hitting each other, along with the Haas. Mompro up front. Laszlo's as well, far behind. It's been an awful start. Mompro and Curly both in P1, P2, both battling. Hungary joining in on the apps with Jason behind Hungary. At the bus stop, can he overtake Mompro? They have wheels touch. Hungary serves his penalty now. Curly and Mompro now fighting. Curly with a good exit. He overtakes Mompro down into turn 1 but goes very wide and overshoots. Mompro takes back. Or can he take back? He does take back his P1 spot. Laszlo and Benry behind. Laszlo's into the pits, presumably to serve his penalty or repair, I'm not sure. But he's been overtaken by the 2 Mercedes and the Haas. Hungary also in the pits, coming out now to serve his penalties. Up front, Mompro and Curly are both side by side. Curly takes P1 for the first time in this race, I believe. Striking away from the Williams dominance. Curly now building a little bit of a gap here. Jason now has moved up into P3 as well. This is great news for Audi. On Curly. He's going on the outside of Mompro. Curly on the inside of Mompro. Jason backs out. Curly takes P1 once again. Mompro falls to P2. And Benry is now still in P4. However, he's still catching up to P3, in which Jason Gaming Boy, is protecting his spot. Benry though on the inside of Jason. Benry now takes P3. This is incredible for Ferrari, both drivers going from P10 to podium spots with 6 laps to go. Mompro and Curly. Mompro takes position from Curly. Mompro with an alright exit. Curly now with the slipstream. Outside of Mompro. Benry as well catching up. From double Williams to double Ferrari now. Benry on the outside of Mompro. He takes Mompro. Can the Ferraris work together here to preserve their P1, P2? No, they can't. Mompro gets back at Benry. Jason also behind. El Rouge and Radler. Jason with the slipstream as well on Mompro and Curly. Can Jason overtake anyone here? Jason down the inside. And he overtakes Curly. He overtakes Mompro as well with the inside line. Jason takes the lead of this race for the first time. An Audi in P1. Ghost will be incredibly happy with this. Mompro trying to fight back against Jason. Mompro down the inside. Jason keeps the position. Incredible from Jason. Can Jason continue this? Mompro goes wide. Curly trying to capitalise. And Jason keeps that P1 with Curly going on the inside. Jason overtakes Curly once again. Benry as well, right behind his teammate and Mompro battling. Jason having an incredible race here. Mompro, Benry, Curly and Jason. Jason has fallen to P2. Can he keep his P2 on the corner as Benry attempts to take it down the inside and Benry takes it? So does Curly. Can Jason preserve it? Curly, no. Jason loses out and goes from P1 to P4. Mompro goes a bit wide, but no. Nothing happens. Benry and Curly, both P2, P3. This is a good day for Ferrari. And Jason! Jason hits a glitch on El Rouge and now there's debris on the track right before El Rouge. This is so unfortunate for Audi, who's had such a great race here. He won currently, however, both the Ferraris with the slipstream behind him. Curly, right behind Mompro. Curly on the outside, wheel to wheel with Mompro right now. Curly with the draft and the slipstream previously. And Benry as well on the inside. Can he do anything? No. Mompro keeps the position, just about, as Curly has the better exit and takes Mompro. Benry right behind him as well. The Ferraris giving each other slipstream. Benry down the inside of Mompro, and Mompro falls to third. This is not great for the Williams, as Ferrari take P1, P2. He seems to have caught up by a bit, I don't know, half a second here, but I'm not sure how much this affects. And there's a virtual safety car. Benry P1, Mompro P2, Curly in P3. Jason in P4, with Laszloks now in P5. Max is P6, it seems, with another following second behind. And another has lost the wheel, so he will want to pit sooner rather than later. After that is Hungary in 8th and Chris in 9th, along with NASCAR, who's now pitting in P10. Racing will be underway. Mompro is probably catching because you can have faster lines on the VSC. But as 3 podium contenders make their way up El Rouge, you have Jason, who's fighting Laszloks now from P1, fighting for his position in P4, and he's making contact with Laszloks. Laszloks gets a better exit. Jason now into P5 from P1, back to where he started. Benry as well has regained that time and is closing in on Mompro. Laszloks respawning in the pits. Laszloks has dropped so many positions, losing out to Hungary and Chris as well. Mompro is still fighting for that P1 spot against Curly. Can he do anything here? This is the penultimate lap. We have 1.5 laps of racing action to go to decide who wins. It seems to be a battle between the Williams and the 2 Ferraris up front. Can Mompro take Curly around the outside? And Mompro does. He gets a good launch. And Benry also wants to take on Curly, and Benry moves into P2. Mompro now making a bit of breathing room out front at P1 to the Ferrari in P2. Benry goes slightly wide here. He doesn't get the exit he'd like as Mompro launches away. Onto the final lap now. Curly and Benry both closing in on Mompro with the slipstream. What will Mompro do here? Curly and Benry both side by side. This is like McLaren at Canada. Benry on the inside, Curly on the outside. They both take Mompro, and Mompro falls to P3. And Mompro retains P2. He gets back his P2. But that's incredible work here from the Ferraris. The rest of the pack following behind, Jason and Max battling it out, but all eyes are on the Ferraris and the William up front. Benry has a huge gap out front now. Can he extend this? Can he keep this? But no, Mompro is closing in on Benry. Curly is following behind Mompro. Benry and Mompro now fighting. Can they do anything here? Curly has a slipstream on Mompro. Can Curly overtake Mompro on the inside? Mompro with the slipstream onto the final turn now. Mompro on the outside of Benry. Curly on the inside of Benry. It's the 2 Ferraris battling the Williams up front. Can Mompro take P1 at the Belgian Grand Prix on the final corner. Curly on the inside. Curly takes the inside. Mompro with a good exit. It's a three-way finish here. Mompro edging out front. And he takes P1 in Belgium. Curly following behind. Then Benry. Max and Jason now battling it out. Jason ahead of Max in P4. Max gets the cutback on Jason and he takes P4. The Audi in P5. Hungary now fighting the Mercedes of Chris. Hungary takes P6 and Chris takes P7. Laszlux and another now fighting. Once again another on the inside, on the outside, and he takes Laszlux. The Williams falls to P8. Another is now in P8 and takes away a higher finish for Laszlux. And Nazgar, if he can finish the race, is in P10. There's incredible racing action from everyone here. The two Ferraris getting P2, P3. This is a brilliant day for them. Mompro in P1. The Williams very happy to continue and gain points for the top of the table. However, Laszlux in P9 could have done better there, but I'm sure Williams will still be happy with the win. Max and Chris, two Mercedes. Max in P4, Chris in P7, and Chris spins Max out on the cooldown lap. Hungry Boat as well, P6 all the way from P1. The McLaren not having a great weekend here. And the Haas of another in P8. I'm sure they'll at least be happy to have gained some points. However, next week they'll be looking to improve on that, especially after what happened in Valencia with another getting P3. Laszlux has crashed as well on the cooldown lap, and that just sums up his weekend. Incredible race here in Spa, and we will be seeing you guys next week in, I believe it's Vegas, but I'm not sure. Vegas or Silverstone, I'm not sure. Which I think Silverstone's a bit later, but it's the cars now piling into the pit lane. It's a brilliant race from everyone, and see you next week.